Good evening, every student. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to take you on a course, Curriculum Studies and Educational Supervision. Last week, we started with definition of curriculum, and we moved to the categories of procedures of curriculum and the types of curriculum. We stop at the types of curriculum. So we are going to start there today. Types of curriculum. Please, I want us to be fast. Types of curriculum, I listed them last week. 1, subject curriculum. 2, teacher-centered curriculum. 3, learner-centered curriculum. 4, activity/experience curriculum. 5, integrated curriculum. 6, core curriculum. 7, broad field curriculum. 8, hidden curriculum. I repeat it again. 1, subject curriculum. 2, teacher-centered curriculum. 3, learner-centered curriculum. 4, activity/experience curriculum. 5, integrated curriculum. 6, core curriculum. 7, broad field curriculum, and hidden curriculum. 8. Let's go into the explanation of them one after the other. Subject curriculum. This is the type of curriculum where every subject is separate unit. This is the type of curriculum where every subject is separate unit and every subject has a separate teacher. This is a type of curriculum where every subject is a separate unit and each subject has a separate teacher. Taking. Every teacher tries to teach his or her own subject. Every teacher tries to teach his or her own subject. No teacher intervene in the subject of another teacher. Subject curriculum. Each subject is a separate unit and is being handled by a separate teacher. Example, biology teacher, mathematics teacher, literature teacher. The person handling mathematics is the sole owner of that subject. No other person intervenes with that teacher in mathematics. The same thing as biology, literature. So the teacher stands as a monopoly to that subject. Let's look at the characteristics of subject curriculum. Characteristics of subject curriculum. Information, number 1, information for future use. Information for future use. The information that you get now is for the future, not for immediate. It is for the future. An example, the course you are running now, you are running your BSc in education. You are going to make use of it in future. You have not started making use of it, but you are acquiring the knowledge now. So the information you are getting is for the future use. You can never tell where the information, the knowledge you are acquiring now will take you to. 2, progress is measured to the extent that students learned the subject. Progress is measured to the extent that students learned the subject. That is, learning is measured by how much and how well the students have mastery of that subject. how well and how much the students have mastery, not just teaching the subject, but how well they have the knowledge of what you are teaching them. 3, predetermined uniform standard of knowledge. Predetermined standard of knowledge. 4, subject matter is selected by adults or experts for the teaching and learning situation. Predetermined, I didn't explain, sorry. Predetermined uniform standard, they have uniform standard. There is uniform standard. The standard is unified. That means if before you can say that somebody has passed the exam, the person must at least have 40 marks. So it is the same everywhere for that subject. Then 4, subject matter is selected by adults or experts for the teaching and learning situation. Subject matter is selected by adults or experts for the teaching learning situation. That means the content of the learning is selected in advance before the actual teaching. The content, what the teacher wants to teach, is already selected in advance. The teacher will not sit down and prepare the class, prepare what you want to teach, just like this one I'm doing. The content I have to teach is already with me, is in advance. I sit down and plan what I want to teach and carry out the teaching in the classroom. So the subject is selected by experts for the teaching and learning situation. Number 5, characteristics. Learning subject matter is the end itself. Learning subject matter is the end itself. Until the teacher focuses on covering the subject matter. This is for a separate teacher, for separate subject. So each teacher focuses on the covering of the subject. So he targeted on he has planned on how to cover the whole curriculum before the end, before examination. So the teacher tries to finish the course content and prepare the student for the examination. He makes sure that he covers the subject and the student gets everything and are ready for the examination. 6, practice in skills is emphasized. Practice in skills is emphasized. Subject curriculum emphasizes continuous practice or drill in a specific skill. It emphasizes continuous practice. Say practice makes perfect. So it emphasizes on continuous practicing in a specific skills. Teachers employ different methods: evaluation, exercise sessions, tutoring classes to ensure that all students participate actively in the subject. So involves different methods, evaluation, which can be tests, examination, different exercises, organizing tutorial classes, extra moral classes to ensure that everyone participates actively. I hope it's taken. Let's move to the next topic. Requirements for the optimum operation of subject curriculum. Requirements for the optimum operation of subject curriculum. That means what it takes for a school to embark on subject curriculum. All these things must be required for a school to say they are embarking on subject curriculum. One, there must be trained teachers. Trained teacher. Before you can say, my school want to embark on subject curriculum, there must be trained teacher. The trained teacher for mathematics, trained teacher for biology, trained teacher for chemistry, physics, literature. There must be trained teachers. Two, a separate classroom for each subject. There must be separate classroom for each subject. The classroom will be available for each subject. Three, a fixed timetable. There must be a fixed timetable. The teachers must know that every Monday, okay, today, every Monday, we are having curriculum studies by 7:20 to 8 p.m. So it is a fixed timetable. Criticisms on subject curriculum. There are people that criticize subject curriculum. So let's look at what they criticize curriculum of. Criticisms on subject curriculum. One, it is criticized that it is compartmentalized and fragmented. It is compartmentalized and fragmentary. It is compartmentalized and fragmentary. So they criticize subject curriculum that the subject is learned in parts, compartmentalized and fragmentary. The subject is learned in parts, that every teacher is specialized in one subject, and as a result, the teacher feels pride to have the knowledge of his subject and teaching. So he denies another person the responsibility to take the course, the subject. So they criticize subject curriculum that it is learned in parts. It is learned in parts. And that it allows the teacher to be pompous, to be pride over the subject that he is taking. Every year he's one taking mathematics, every year he's one taking mathematics. He's now feeling pride and no opportunity to another teacher to handle the subject. So it is being criticized. Number two, criticism. The subject-based curriculum ignores the interests and activities of the learner. They accuse subject curriculum that it is based, that it ignores the interests and the activities of the learner. The course content of subject-based curriculum is not logically organized and cannot be effective in teaching and learning process. Something that is not organized properly can never be effective. Okay, you want to teach water. Example, you want to teach water. You started from sources of water before you move to uses of water, before you now define water. How is it supposed to be? Definition of water, uses of water, and sources of water. So it is being criticized, it is not logical, and a lesson can never be effectively transmitted. Number four, criticisms. It was also criticized of failing to develop the habit of effective and critical thinking. It was also criticized of failing to develop the habit of effective and critical thinking. So subject curriculum was criticized that it gives importance to the conclusion of the thought, that is the end result. It gives importance to the conclusion of the thought, the end result, but not the process through which the conclusion were derived. It does not give effective and critical thinking. It gives importance to, okay, the person passed biology, but not the process of passing that biology. In examination, I know I got A1. So it is giving importance to the end result, with the end result that the person make A, B, but not the process of getting that A or B. Somebody, of course, somebody might not know much and got A. So examination is not best what, telling the best what person is the best in that course. Let's look at the defense of subject curriculum. We have looked at the criticisms. Some people still defend subject curriculum, while some criticize subject curriculum. Defense of subject curriculum. One, the people that defend curriculum, they rejected that it did not develop child's thinking. They rejected that it did not develop child's thinking. They argued that it is the most method for the development of critical thinking in an individual, that is the learner. They argue that it is the most method for the developing of critical thinking in an individual learner. They also defended is that if this is not achieved, that the development of critical thinking, if it's not achieved, the brain is on the instruction. The brain is on the instruction. That is the teacher and not on the curriculum. So if it does not develop critical thinking in the individual learner, the brain is on the teacher imparting the knowledge and not the curriculum, subject curriculum itself. That means the teacher is to be blamed for not developing critical thinking of that particular subject in the individual learner's life. Another defense of curriculum, subject curriculum. Two, they claim that it is compartmentalized and fragmentary. They claim on compartmentalized and fragmented. So they also claim that it is not true because no person, no student can study only one subject in a session or in a course. Is it possible for somebody to study just one course, one subject in the whole session? So it is not what? Compartmentalized, and it is not what? Fragmentary. It is not possible. There is no way you will go to higher institution and you are studying mathematics, year 1 mathematics, year 2 mathematics, year 3 mathematics, year 4 mathematics. It is not possible. So they argue that one. Number 3, defense of subject curriculum. It gives the teacher the idea of what to teach and students what to expect or what to learn. and the time allocated to the subject. This is because it is being issued in advance. It is being, the content, subject content is being allocated or in advance. So it gives the teachers the ideas of what to teach. The teachers will sit down and plan for the lecture, for the lesson. And the students also will sit down and learn in advance, and also gives them what? The time allocated to them is there also. 4, the content of the subjects are logically and systematically arranged. They were accused that it was not logically, but this one say they are logically and systematically arranged. 5, evaluation process in teacher-based curriculum is very easy. It can make use of achievement-based testing in getting the level of learning experiences of the students. So it is very easy. Evaluation, that is assessment. You can use tests, you can use examination, you can use quiz, you can use many ways to assess the level of understanding of the students over the subject. And number 6, defense of curriculum, subject curriculum. It is useful for specialization. It is useful for specialization. Of course, whatever you are doing, every time, you specialize on it. You specialize on it. By the time you handle it, no matter how difficult you find it, you handle it today, you handle it tomorrow, you handle it. Before you know it, you be expert in that subject. Any question? Let's move to the next type of curriculum, learner-centered curriculum. Learner-centered curriculum. Learner-centered curriculum. This is a needs and interests. This type of curriculum gives importance to individual development and wants to organize curriculum to achieve the needs and interests of the learner. This type of curriculum gives importance to individual development and wants to organize curriculum to achieve the needs and interests of the learner, of the learners. In handling this learner-centered curriculum, the teachers are expected to connect the present teaching to the previous teaching. Suppose the teachers are expected to connect the present teaching to the previous teaching so that the learners can understand and move ahead with the present teaching. Just enter the class, do small revision of the past lesson which you have taught the students so that they can recall. Then you now move to the present teaching. So you are now recalling the students the present teaching to the previous. So as you are now moving ahead, they are easily following you. Characteristics of learner-centered curriculum. Learner-centered curriculum characteristics. The curriculum plan is based on knowledge of learners' needs and interests. The curriculum plan is based on knowledge of learners' needs and interests. The curriculum plan is based on knowledge of learners' needs and interests. What are the needs of the learners? That is where the learning will base. When that means there is no advanced course content, no advanced nothing. You as a teacher enters the class, you the students by asking one or two questions. From there, you notice what they don't know. That will be where you will start. That is what they need at that moment. That is the needs of the learners. You discover what they don't know, and you do what? You organize
Mrs. Satangozi, please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. You'll be muted.
Hello? So you plan your lesson on that particular letter A. That is the need, the first needs, the interest of the learner at that moment. I hope it's taken. 2, the curriculum plan is flexible. It is flexible. That means the curriculum, it can easily be modified to conform to the needs and interests of the learner at that particular time. It is flexible. Something that can easily be modified is flexible. It is not rigid. It is flexible. It can easily modify to conform to the needs and interests of the learner at that particular time. 3, the learner is consulted and tutored individually at difficult points in the curriculum and instructional process. The learner is consulted and tutored individually at difficult points in the curriculum and instructional process. Anytime the learner is finding knowledge difficult, he call upon the teacher is available at any moment in time to render help to that individual learner. Another type of curriculum is activity or experience-based curriculum. Activity-based curriculum. Activity-based curriculum. Activity-based curriculum. Activity-based curriculum is also called project curriculum. It is also called project curriculum or an experience curriculum. It can also be called project curriculum or and experience curriculum. Activity-based curriculum is a type of curriculum where the teacher engages the students or people in activities as teaching and learning is going on. This is a type of curriculum where the teacher engages the students or pupils in activities as teaching and learning is going on. It enables them to gain mental satisfaction on their work, that's classwork. It enables them to gain mental satisfaction on their classwork. It is a type of curriculum where the teacher engages the students or pupils in activities as teaching and learning is going on. Activity. The teacher is teaching with instructional materials. The students also have what? The same instructional material. As the teacher is teaching, demonstrating, the pupils are also doing the same thing. Activity-based curriculum. You are teaching mathematics 1 + 1. The students should have the exercise book 1 + 1. As you are doing it on the board, they are practicalizing it. That is activity. They are doing it. If you finish teaching them mathematics on the board without them practicing it by themselves, give them assignments. You will see what will happen. But when the students are doing the same thing as the teacher is doing, it helps them to gain mental satisfaction in the classwork. I will continue after giving you assignment. Time is going. Please write this assignment down. Write this assignment, submit it to setengozi.cecilia@yahoo.com. 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 1. Define curriculum. Define curriculum. Number 1, define curriculum. 2, mention 5 types of curriculum you know. Mention 5 types of curriculum you know. 3, give a comprehensive meaning of subject curriculum. Give a comprehensive meaning of subject curriculum, stating a characteristics of subject curriculum. Stating a characteristics of subject curriculum. B, criticisms on subject curriculum. B, criticisms on subject curriculum. And C, defense of subject curriculum. Please submit to setengos.cecilia@yahoo.com. It is spelled as SETENGOZI. Then you put dot, not DOT. Dot Cecilia, CECILIA @yahoo.com. setengos.cecilia@yahoo.com. Submit. Very important. Then let's move, before the time is over, characteristics of activity-based curriculum. Children interest determines the educational program. 1. Children interest determines the educational program. Children interest determines the educational program. What that the children want, or the first needs of the children, is what that determines what the teacher will be teaching in the class. That is what that will determine it. What they want, their first needs. That is what the teacher should do. So what the teacher does is the teacher should try to discover the interests and the needs of the pupils and then plan his activities in meeting these needs. When the teacher enters the class, the teacher using activity-based curriculum, when he enters the class, they try to discover what are the needs of these pupils and then arrange activities in meeting these needs of the people. 2, the activity-based curriculum is not planned in advance. It is not planned in advance, unlike subject-based curriculum. Activity-based curriculum is not planned in advance. As the teacher discovers the needs and interests of the pupils in the class, he selects the activity among activities. He plans the activity among the activities and makes sure that the first needs of these pupils are being achieved at the end of the lesson. 3, activities are planned cooperatively by the pupils and teacher. Activities are planned cooperatively by the pupils and teachers. They plan it cooperatively. 4, the teacher assists the groups as a resource person. The teacher assists the group as a resource person. So the teacher moves around and guides the pupils and makes sure they are guided and achieve the learning at the end of the class. 5, practice and individual assistance are provided as needed. Practice and individual assistance are provided as needed. That is where we can stop for today. We'll be going to the requirements of activity-based curriculum. God bless you. Thank you. Good night.